Welcome back to the backyard golf course. The weather has been warming and we have some spring cleanup to do after a long winter. We are waiting for the soil temperatures to warm up so that we can start to push growth on the young grass. Back out here enjoying the nice weather, and I gotta admit, I kind of blew it here. I've been looking at my bluegrass. That's been 100% on my mind. I have this heavy, rich topsoil, so it holds a lot of moisture. I've been actually waiting for it to dry out where I can get on it, check things out, but I kind of forgot about the golf greens. These golf greens are in sand, basically pure sand, 10 inches of sand underneath this turf here, and it's very dry. It's embarrassing to admit, but I've been asleep at the wheel here on these greens. I need to get the irrigation on. They're dry, and if you look closely, I think I have a disease. I think the bentgrass is stressed out just from being too dry for sure, but there has to be something else going on. There's a lot of little reddish brown circular areas, and I'm pretty sure that indicates a disease. Just to be safe, I think I'm going to apply some fungicide here, and then tomorrow get some water on these greens, heavy, nice deep watering down into that root system. Because yeah, I was just looking at everything else. I'm really trying to grow this fairway in. I want to golf here. It's looking pretty good right now, but I completely forgot about how dry those greens are in that sand. Golf green disease management, I've heard about it. We haven't even put a golf ball on the green, and here we are fighting disease already. Hopefully that does the trick. We will watch it now day to day. There's rain coming in about 12 hours. After that, if we don't get too much rain, I'm gonna push the moisture to this golf green. Like I said, this was just my mistake. I was watching the fairway. How good does that bluegrass look out there? You can see the green haze now. It is getting stronger and stronger. I was really focused on the exterior of the greens here and not focused on this. This was totally my fault. I'll have to watch the moisture on these golf greens. This much sand, full drainage below, gravel below that. So these are extremely dry material to grow in. I have to keep a better look at the moisture level in this. We have the soil temperatures now, so it is go time on this turf. I'm gonna watch and see how much rain we get. After that, it is just going to be an all-out assault on growing in this turf. Fertilizer coming, a lot of moisture. Things looking pretty good, but definitely some bare spots here that we have to work on. We have a nice warm rain coming tonight, and I want to get some food on these greens. I made that critical error not watering these greens, and with that, I also made the error of not feeding these greens early enough. This grass is growing in 80% sand, 20% peat moss, so there's not a lot of holding power in there and not a lot of food in there, and I need to get some food down to feed this green. You can see all those reddish brown spots. The fungicide has been down for 24 hours now. It's doing its job, but I think the biggest thing we need is some of this food to feed the grass and get it to grow through that diseased area. I can see green grass coming there, and I think we just need a boost. It has been a couple days and the golf greens are looking better. We've had an inch of rain, really nice rain that's greened things up. Our fungicide application appears to be working, and I think we've got enough growth here that I'm going to mow these greens. Nothing beats that early season warm rain. The greens have definitely greened up. I can still see the circular diseased pattern. The center of those circular areas are definitely greening up, and it's starting to spread to the outside. So I don't think it's going to be too long before we get back to normal here and have some nice clean greens. Well, I just learned two important lessons here today. One, keep your sharpening compound in a sealed container, and two, don't try and push the mower and hold all of your compound because you will completely spill it all over yourself. I definitely regret not getting that on camera. These transport wheels, when they're on the mower, this thing is actually pretty fast the way it's geared. Usually you're just running on that stainless steel cylinder, but with the wheels, they turn pretty quick. I put it in drive, lost it, dropped it. It went across the driveway, almost hit the car. I stopped it and had this all over myself. So would have been a good video. Now I'm just wet and I'm sparkly silver. However, I need to sharpen this reel because we did 3 mows last fall on these new greens and they were very sandy. There just wasn't a lot of grass growing on those greens. So the sand shoots up, gets into the reel and dulls it. What I really need is this reel to be ground down. The local company that does it, they're kind of booked up with real golf courses right now, so I'm on the list, so that's why I'm doing the back lapping now. What this really does need is a full grinding, new bed knife, just to get it perfectly dialed in, because these greens are going to start to grow and look good, and I'd like to start at a perfect setting. So the sharpening compound that I spilled all over myself is really just this. It is liquid sandpaper. It is like gel, it is smooth, but it has some slight grit in it. So what you do is turn the reel is touching the bed knife, and when this sand goes through, this sandpaper compound, it will sharpen itself. So it's pretty smart, pretty cool, and simple to do. Just take a drill with a 1/2-inch socket that fits right in here, and then you can turn the reel backwards. You should really have a longer paintbrush so you don't cut your hands off doing that. Now I can put paper in there and cut it. That thing is not perfect. It definitely needs a grinding, but we can now cut paper. So I'm gonna go give both these greens a mow. That was a tough one. My stripes were ugly and my bent grass is ugly. There is so much disease in this. I'm just frustrated at myself for letting it get to this point. We were so good last fall. It was like way above anything I ever expected. That mower was set to 3/8 of an inch height of cut from last fall. That was the final mow we did in the fall. I just left it at that until I get this really grown in. I'm not going to take it down any further. Definitely learned a lesson here. This was a good wake-up call. Things were smooth sailing last fall. Almost too easy. I had a very good looking green in 8 weeks, and I've been humbled here now. This is not pretty. I got to get out of this, get this green back to where it should be. It has been less than 3 days since that mow that we did on the diseased green, the depressed mow. I probably sounded mopey and sad because the greens were looking pretty sad themselves. However, after 3 days, it is crazy how this bent grass can go both ways. It has come completely back. We've got a lot more green now. That fungicide application has done its job. I've added some granular fertilizer to the green. It's like that, and then I also have the irrigation now running strong. I have no experience growing bent grass, but this appears like it's going to be just a lifelong roller coaster. Cannot believe how much better that looks. We've got our color back, and like I said, that was less than 3 days later. And also, as you can see, the weather is very nice. That cold spring dragged forever, but that's the thing with those cold springs. When the weather does show up, it's like a switch being flipped, and all of a sudden we've got summer-like weather here. Apart from getting those greens back to where I want them, my #1 focus here is going to be this fairway and rough area. All of this Kentucky bluegrass, it is now sprung to life. And now that the soil has warmed up, I'm going to go back at it. I'm going to reseed and fertilize and push this fairway. I have to say, for seeding as late as I did, I think it was October 16th, and I am way up above the 45th parallel. That's super late for me for Kentucky bluegrass. It didn't germinate until November, and I gotta say, like, this is pretty darn good coverage. I'm super happy, so much further ahead than if we were just looking at topsoil here and I didn't take the chance and seed last fall. I do have some thinner areas that you can see where I will be seeding a little bit heavier, and then the rest of the area is just going to get a light overseeding. So for seeding, I'm going to keep it consistent with what I already have out there. The majority of that fairway and rough area is this stuff right here, Everest certified Kentucky Bluegrass. Now, something different for this year is this stuff right here, Perennial Rye Grass. Being as far north as I am, I'll never be able to keep Perennial Rye Grass long term. At some point in the next year or two, I'm going to have a tough winter and it is going to wipe this stuff out. However, the reason I'm putting it down is that it germinates super quick and it grows aggressively and will fill this fairway in quickly. Let's be honest, with these golf greens starting to get back to where they should be, I want to golf here soon, and I've done 100% Kentucky Bluegrass before on my front lawn. I've went through it. It is great grass. I love Kentucky Bluegrass, probably my favorite grass out there, but it takes time to mature, probably a year, year and a half. So this is just going to help us fill in and kick it into nice, even turf here a lot faster. I'm going to mix both seeds together, so I just have to apply them once. Kentucky Bluegrass seeds are tiny. There's like 1 million Kentucky Bluegrass seeds in 1 pound of seed. Very small. Seeding rates for Kentucky Bluegrass is like 2 to 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet. I already have grass down there, so I'm going to maybe do 1 pound. Perennial Rye Grass is a much larger seed. There's about 250,000 seeds in 1 pound. With that larger seed, you do need to apply more seed per square foot at about 7 to 8 on a new lawn. I'm gonna shoot for maybe 3. That's a different color. That is a long walk. I'm going to come back later, do the fertilizer. I'm out of time, but we got all the seed down. I went 2 different directions, try to ensure good coverage on that bluegrass and ryegrass. Time to fertilize. I'm going with 7-24-12. That middle number is phosphorus. This is high in phosphorus, and that drives that root growth. As much as I want to see the nitrogen high and push a lot of green growth, I really need to take care of those small little grass plants and get some roots under them. Up next, the irrigation and the fertilizer did its job, so we get out the fairway mower.